Hello everybody, GL1 here. Welcome to my online toy museum, and today we're going to examine The Witcher. Now, the figures that I have here are from the video game The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. And as I've stated before, I don't play video games, so I really don't know much about it. It's an RPG game. It was supposed to be 20% larger than Skyrim, and the actions of Geralt, which is this character here, of Rivera, are supposed to impact the game. So any of you that have played that, I hope you liked it. I don't know anything about it. So the Witcher TV series came out on Netflix, and initially I didn't see an action figure for Henry Cavill, the actor that plays Geralt. But this one came, I bought this one first. So the Witcher 3 video game was supposed to come out in 2014, but then came out in 15. And, a few years later, they came out with this figure. And it's a good figure. It's made by McFarlane Toys, so it's based on the 7-inch scale. And it comes with a werewolf head that's been severed. And you can see that's where the spine was supposed to connect. It comes with two swords. One's a silver sword, and one's just a regular steel sword. I don't know which one's which, but silver kills werewolves, so you got to have some silver there. And then I guess this is like a hook. You can, hook your head, and hook it to there. But all right, so what's nice about this is that the armor is separate pieces. You see, you can kind of lift it up like real, armor. And it's got that chainmail look. You have the good articulation, double knees, double elbows. You can see that, get some good motion on there. And it's a realistic looking human figure, as a lot of things are now. Although sometimes McFarlane Toys doesn't quite make a person look like the person they're supposed to. Now this is a video game, right? But I'm going to show you what I mean by that. I'm not just going to make a statement and run away from it. So, also has toes that move up. Take a look at that. All right. And then this is Ciri, also from the Wild Hunt. And we're going to compare these characters from the game to the characters in the Netflix show. And then, there's her sword. Put that on there. Pull that out. Big old sword. And actually, you know what? I wanted to show one thing. You see how the scabbards, the sword fits completely into the scabbard. Okay, so we're going to take a look at, I'm going to show you what's different about this and the ones from the TV show. All right, so Ciri, you can tell, her age, and I think it's an older character than the one that plays in the TV show, and we'll compare that too. All right, so here is the Henry Cavill action figure, all right, from The Witcher. And I thought that was, it looks quite a bit like him, Superman, right? And, you got all this double elbows, double knees, good articulation. It's got all these weapons on him. And you have the torso flexibility, torso joint, a little bit of movement in here, right, in the hips. And then, again, separate pieces of armor so that it doesn't get in the way of articulating him. And there you go. And like many of the McFarlane Toys, you get the toes. And, McFarlane Toys are based on 7-inch scale, unlike Marvel, which are 6-inch scale. So they're a little bit bigger. And I think it's easier to make joints work better, too, when the action figure is larger. All right, so the scabbard, the sword isn't completely covered. That's what I wanted you to take note of. And you can see the detail on the sword. And by the hilt, it's different on both sides. Which is not, usually a sword is the same on both sides of the hilt. This is the hilt. Okay. All right, and it doesn't really stay that well into the stand. Actually, like some things, it's just, there it popped out again. Just kind of like squish that on there. All right. And so they're about the same size, the figures, which is cool. And then here is the Ciri All right, so much smaller, but that's the scale of the person that plays Ciri to Geralt. And then she's got a little short sword, and you can see she's got all the double joint articulation as well. And just a little short sword. All right. And got wrinkle in the clothes. Actually, you know what? That's kind of a cool thing. So you can actually see the wrinkling of the clothes, right? And you can see that also on Geralt's pants. You know, honestly, down by the crotch. It's very realistic. In terms of the wrinkling, whereas this one does not do that. It's more like, you know, just like a leather, you know, flat piece of leather. Although you do have kind of the wrinkles up in here, you know, like the fabric is moving. And I think that's, you know, those are neat little details. I mean, you can even see like the stitching. So it really does look like leather. And even this, I mean, it has like a three-dimensional aspect to it. It really looks like metal. You know, it really looks like it's woven metal in there. So I think that is really great for the figure to have that. And then if you look here, you know, all the plating, and you know, you have, well, wouldn't it be something if they had separate pieces here so that it moved? I mean, that would really be something. But you can see it has the extra shoulder joint in there. And let's see, the Ciri has it too. Look at that. And you know, when I show you my Dragon Ball Z figures, I did show some once, but I'm going to show some of the newer ones, but the less expensive ones, the ones that are like $10, compared to the old ones from a long time ago, like, you know, 25 years ago. You know, we'll see the difference in that, but how the joints, also how the newer $10 Dragon Ball Z has really great articulation. You get a lot for $10. All right, so, you know, Geralt can go into some kind of Witcher mode. So he has superpowers, basically. They subjected him to a bunch of potions and things, and he's resistant to, you know, he's stronger, he's faster, he sees better in the dark. He's resistant to poisons and things. So there's just a lot that he can do. And he can take a drink, and he goes into like super Witcher mode when he's going to fight a monster. His eyes turn black and his skin turns gray. He's almost very zombie-ish, and he's like even stronger. And it's exactly the same mold, just with all they had to do was change the color of the head. And then, you know, some of the details on the eyes. But also the mouth. Take a look at that. It's its own separate mold. So, you know, he's smiling. You can call that a smile, right? It looks like the kind of like a maniacal smile of, I'm smiling right before I kill you. And the sword also turned white. Look at the handle versus, see, it's brown over here. And look, it's lost its fancy hilt, and it's thinner. And looks like it has the hint of runes on that sword. You know, writing, ancient runes. But this one does not. So maybe the sword gets magical. I watched the first season, don't remember it. Tried watching the second, couldn't get into it, and quit. So I know there's people that... oh, also the hilt's different on the end. Look at that. People love The Witcher. There's people that love it. And there's people that feel exactly the way I do. So, you know, I just like action figures. I don't really care about the show. Also the sword. And I like Henry Cavill, because I like Superman. So, all right. So look at that. And it's even got like butt wrinkles, you know, underneath there, where the pants would wrinkle, you know. Sometimes if you know, you're like action guy running or whatever, you know, leather's going to do that. And here's what I wanted to show you. So Henry Cavill. We all know what Henry Cavill looks like, right? And here is Henry Cavill Superman. So this is also a McFarlane figure. And I have quite a few Superman action figures. I did do a Superman show quite a while ago, maybe a year ago, and showed a bunch of my Superman figures. I've gotten a couple since then, not a whole lot. I got that recent Superman where he's super gigantic, and I've shown him in a couple episodes, where he has that dog. I haven't done a separate episode on him, so I probably will do just a Superman episode where he's got, I don't remember the name of the dog, Krypton or something. Krypto? Yeah, Anyway, that is like a super muscular Superman. So there's kind of like no point in getting a Superman after that. He pretty much has conquered all muscles you can have. But here's what I wanted to show on this Superman. The face. So which one do you think looks more like Henry Cavill? Right? They're both good. They both have a little bit of the chin indent. You know, maybe this is just a younger Henry Cavill, and maybe that's why the face, you know, this one is a little more mature looking. I don't know. I tend to think this one looks more like him. So anyway, just wanted to show you that difference. All right, so this is my important but meager Witcher collection. I probably won't be collecting anymore. I don't really care about the other characters. But as I touched on here, and I've touched on lately, video game toys. So I have a lot of video game toys, which I've mentioned other times, and I'm going to start showing them because I have so many. And for somebody that doesn't play video games, I think I have quite an impressive collection. So stay tuned for that. In fact, I'm going to show the League of Legends toys that I have coming up next. So hope you enjoy that too. Thanks for watching, and take care.